Hey guys, it's Shelby. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in for another video. In today's video, we have to talk about Jeffree Star's latest video that he uploaded to his channel. It's about him moving out of that brand, that new LA mansion that he just moved into a couple years ago, about him tackling mental health issues, and just a bunch of drama surrounding all of that. So I definitely have some thoughts. Was this all for views and clicks and to try and regain himself in the public light, or was this a genuine video just reaching out to his people and just kind of showing what he actually has been going through the past couple years? I definitely have my opinions and thoughts on all of this, so if you're interested in hearing about that, then make sure that you keep on watching.
You have to be your biggest fan, and when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says,
okay, you guys, this was quite the video. I watched it 3 times because I wanted to make sure that I had like a good foundation to talk to you guys about and not just like a first impressions kind of a thing. I really wanted to make sure that I was understanding and hearing everything that Jeffree had to say. And I took some notes, and I'm just going to be kind of going through those notes of my thoughts and the things that he said, and tell you guys like what I think. So he opens up the video and he's standing in the front door of his LA mansion, and he's, you know, welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are ya? Like with the new Pride mirror merchandise and all that. He's done up, he's beat to the gods, and he's, you know, doing the things. And so at first I was kind of like, okay, oh, here we go. Here we go. This is another one of Jeffree Star's attempts to seem relatable, to seem personable. And here he is, you know, with his merch in his hands and his new makeup, or his makeup on his face and all this stuff. Then he takes us through the living room and he tells us he's selling his mansion. And I was like, okay, that's the video. He's selling his mansion. All right, whatever, there we go. But then he ends up taking a seat and he ends up kind of like talking to us a little bit more. And when he started talking to us a little bit more about what's going on with him and everything in his life and mental health and where he's just been, the space he's been at mentally for the past year or so, I kind of, and this is going to be an opinion that maybe a lot of you guys don't think I'm going to have, but I'm always going to give the opinion that I really do have. I don't just completely steer one way or the other when it comes to these influencers. I like to give them the, you know, I like to see things from both sides, right? And so while I do think that this video does seem kind of produced, there's a few different camera angles in there. You know, he's very made up and done to the gods. Hair by Jay probably laid his wig. I do think that as far as the vulnerability that we're gonna get from Jeffree Star, I believe that we did see probably as much as we're gonna get. I know that some people want from him a video where he's no makeup, sitting in front of the camera, no angles, not a lot of production, sweatpants and whatever. And I just don't think that that's the kind of video that we'll ever really get from Jeffree. I think that just who he is as a person is just more animated, and the character of Jeffree Star is always going to come out a little bit in everything that he produces. But I will give him credit though that this video did seem like we saw more like past the character of Jeffree Star than we've really ever seen, and he even kind of admits that. So he says he's like leaving California to live somewhere else for the first time in his life, and he starts talking about 2019 and 2020 and that he needs to really kind of step away from California for him, and that it was a really hard decision to make. He goes on to say that he's pretty damaged and pretty damaged from everything that's happened with him, the loss of his 2 dogs, the breakup with Nate, and just all of the drama that happened in end of 2019 and 2020. And he's just really honestly there's a lot of trauma associated with those kind of parts in his life and everything. So he talks a lot about that, and he looks pretty emotional when he starts talking about some of this stuff, you know, and he doesn't ever really actually tear up, like there's no actual tears, but but there is a couple moments in the video where he's kind of choked up, and when I mean, whether that was real or fake, who knows? You know, I'm going to be subjective to that. It did seem genuine to me when I watched it. And mind you, I did watch it 3 times to try and really see, was I just being blinded by the facade of Jeffree Star? I will be the first to admit I have been somebody who has been blind to the facade of the Jeffree Star image and the whole wow factor of Jeffree in the past. I honestly can admit that I have. But I really do kind of think that he really was doing at least the best that he felt comfortable with and the best that he could, being genuine and vulnerable with us in this video. He talks about how like the word drama is kind of stuck to his name, and how he is honestly at fault for that, about how he felt the need to react always to certain situations, and if something were to happen behind the scenes, how he felt the need to insert himself publicly into things and really kind of cause, like, make a scene and like cause all this drama. And he even related himself to the character Regina George in Mean Girls, and we all know Regina George, right? Like, iconic movie. Mean Girls is probably one of my favorite movies, and during the whole Dramageddon and Carmageddon and all of that, there was actually, I think was it T-Spill? I think it was T-Spill that like put Jeffree and like all their heads onto the Mean Girls characters, and Jeffree was Regina George in that. So he kind of relates himself to that whole thing and how he got caught up in the facade of being a mean girl and all of these things, and how he thought that the outlandish behavior that we've seen from him is what we wanted. And if I'm being really real for a minute, I think there was a time where that was what we wanted to see from him. Now, once the whole thing with James Charles happened and the Tati video happened back in the day, that took everything to a different level. But before that, when Jeffree was kind of catty and rude, it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, he was really problematic. Yeah, he was super dramatic and whatever, but we kind of, be honest with yourselves, we kind of lived, right? We lived for the Kat Von D Jeffree Star drama, right? We lived for him calling out Huda Beauty. We lived for him, you know, being that person that spoke his mind and was super dramatic and a little bit problematic. I think that when the drama got really deep and really just like about these topics that are uncomfortable to talk about, like SH and people being like underage people, and then like, you know, like when it got into topics of, you know, convincing straight men that they were gay, and all of these things, when all of that whole thing, everything that Carmageddon and Dramageddon too, and everything that they were about, I'm stuttering, excuse me, I think that got a little bit too much for most of us, and we had to make a decision. But before that, when the drama was relatively harmless, I think that we all kind of did live for that. So we fueled that persona that he put on. He admits that his ego got really, really big, right? And he admits that his ego thought that he needed that huge mansion when really he didn't. He admits to saying that he thought to himself, how big can he make his empire, Jeffree Star Cosmetics? How big can he make this? And how he manifested everything that he has. And right on for that, like, the man's made a really great living for himself and career for himself, you know, and you know, if he manifested all of that for himself, then that's amazing, you know. But he does own up to the fact that his ego was way too big. He had way too much pride, and he really was putting on this character and being this outlandish version of himself because that's what he thought everybody wanted to see. I don't think that we, as the internet, not that it's our fault or I'm blaming us or anything, but like, I want to kind of share both sides, devil's advocate or whatever, and just kind of share both sides of that. I don't think that in the beginning, the beauty community did a very good job of telling him that we didn't love that behavior. I think that as a whole, the beauty community did enable him a lot in the beginning to just kind of say, to do all these crazy things, and we live for it, right? I mean, his following grew so fast, and we were selling out all of his cosmetics as soon as they launched, and we really kind of fueled that fire. He never really faced his trauma head on, how he just masked it with work. You know, he lost the love of his life, and he says that he doesn't ever know if he'll ever even love again after that. You know, and he never dealt with the pain of losing the dogs. He just kept working and going on meet and greets and doing all these things, and never really faced the trauma. But now he says that he is going in to therapy. He says 2020 almost took him out, and that he questioned his purpose in life and if he should even be alive or whatever. And if that is true, then I feel for him. You know, mental health is a serious thing, and when anybody is questioning if they should be on the planet living or not, that, you know, I feel for anybody questioning themselves in that. So I do hope that he's getting the help that he needs. It sounds like in the video, it sounds like we're getting a more real version of him, and I do hope that he is healing and kind of finding himself within all of that. He does do a couple apologies in the video as well. It's not an apology video by any means, but he does say he's sorry to anybody he's ever hurt or that has felt hurt by him. And then he's sorry, he amplified a lot of things when he should have just shut his mouth. And I think that was a very big statement. I never thought we'd hear that from Jeffree Star, him saying, I'm sorry, I should have never amplified things and spoke up about all of these different things that I knew of. I should have just shut up. And that is, you guys, that sounds like maturity to me. That does sound like growth to me. Now, there's going to be a lot of people in my comment section, I'm sure, that are going to disagree with that, and that are just going to be, you know, he hasn't earned my forgiveness yet, he'll never earn my forgiveness, I'm done with that brand, I'm done with this, whatever. I won't say that I'm completely over everything that happened with him, but I do think that this video was a great step in the right direction for Jeffree Star. And it honestly made me very happy because I loved Jeffree Star, and I loved, you know, I do love his cosmetics. I do love a lot of things that Jeffree Star has put out, and it hurts when you see somebody turn out to be not the kind of person that you want them to be. So if this is a demonstration of actual growth and movement in the right direction, then possibly with a proven track record after these events, then it could be something that I choose to support again. It's not going to be just this video that does it for me, or I think a lot of people, this video might do it for them. Who knows? But for me, this is a great step in the right direction. And I think that if we continue to see this kind of improved behavior and accountability from him and maturity with actions, then I think that, you know, it's going to be great for him as a person and his healing and who he is. And not only that, but his brand, because I think that his brand undoubtedly has been suffering with all of the drama and everything going on with him. But if he can fix his public image, which is so closely tied to his brand, then I'm sure his business will kind of elevate a little bit again. Not that there's listen to me, honey. Jeffree Star Cosmetics is not hurting for money. They are not hurting for cash or anything, or sales or anything, but we aren't seeing, receipts coming in, but we are not seeing the sellouts as quickly as we used to. So who knows, maybe we'll see those happen again one day. We don't know. But anyway, I'm kind of just rambling on about everything, and that's just my those are my thoughts on everything that happened with this video that he put out. But what I really want to know is what you guys think about Jeffree Star's new video in the comments down below. Do you think that this was all an act, or do you think that this was genuine? What do you think about him, admitting to his mean girl like behavior, and that he should have just shut his mouth instead of amplifying situations. Like, what is your take on all of that? I would love to hear your thoughts about all of this drama in the comment section down below. So please let me know what you think. And yeah, that's it for today's video, you guys. If you liked it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified of all of my future videos when they do post. And you can follow me on all of my social media at Beauty by Shelby. That's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at Beauty by Shelby. And I'll leave that right up there on the screen for you so you can see it. If you're enjoying the Beauty by Shelby vibes and want to see more, then YouTube should be suggesting a couple videos down below for you to choose from, so I would love it if you did that. But if you're just here to catch up on the Jeffree Star drama, then that's okay too, girl. Love that you're here. Love you so. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks again so much for watching today's video, you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says,